Hello everyone and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. I have a load of laundry that needs to go into the dryer before I do anything else. Getting the clothes into the dryer is usually the first thing I like to do in the morning, but weekends move at a different pace than the rest of the week, so sometimes things can drag out for most of the morning. The morning reset is done, so while I'm waiting for the clothes to dry, there's still a few things that I need to do in the kitchen.
If I had a boat, I would sail out, take every brother and sister of mine. We'd roll in the sunshine and sleep when it's dark, hoping to find somewhere we can calm. But it's black, yeah it's black, oh the water's black, 'cause it's black, it's all black. If I had some time, I'd be biting it well, but my house is on fire, there's no one left to tell. Just take what is given, the doors have been sealed. Just breathe in the poison and hope God is real. I'll pick you violet flowers if I get there faster than you. I'll pick you violet flowers if I get there faster than you. 'Cause it's mad, yeah it's mad, oh the
I have some kale soaking in the sink that I need to prep for smoothies. I add a few tablespoons of baking soda to a few gallons of water to help remove chemicals and harmful bacteria. Soaking in water also helps to revive the greens if they're starting to wilt a little bit, and that way they last longer in the fridge. The first time I tried kale, it was a complete disaster. I added it to a smoothie and it was so bad that I couldn't even drink it, and I didn't realize at the time that the spine needed to be removed, so I put the entire leaf in the blender and I ended up with a smoothie that had so much pulp it was actually getting stuck in my teeth. Of course, later I learned that you need to strip the leafy part off of the center stalk because it's much too tough and it doesn't blend up well. After I remove the stem, I need to rinse and dry the leaves. Kale does stay crisp longer than most greens, but the leaves need to be dry. Any moisture on the leaves can speed up the decay, so I like to use the spinner to remove as much water as possible.
'cause it's black, yeah it's
I add about 4 cups of greens to my smoothie. Making smoothies is much easier if I have all of the ingredients prepped in advance, and I like to use a scale to measure out the greens by weight instead of volume. 1 cup of green weighs about 1 ounce, but it's easy to overpack too much or not enough when I'm measuring with a cup. This way I know I'm getting at least 4 cups of greens without affecting the taste or consistency that I like, and you could use all kale or any combinations of greens in the smoothie. I'm not a huge fan of kale all by itself, but I like it well enough to mix it with things like soups and salads, so I usually like to mix half spinach and half kale.
Arizona garden stuck on the
I've been trying to cut back on plastic for food storage, especially single-use bags, so I've been switching over to reusable silicone bags. They are freezer safe, but I really like to use them for storing produce in the fridge. A lot of bags will claim to be silicone, but they're actually made of plastic, so be sure to check the fine print. The bags that I use are 100% food-grade silicone, and I'll be sure to add the link in the description box for the bags that I'm using. We usually get 2 to 3 bunches of kale to use in smoothies. If they're small bunches, we get 3, otherwise we get 2. This bunch of kale were a bit larger, so I have green smoothie packs to get me through the week, and I still have a little bit left over to use for something else this week.
every step of the way. Prickly pear in a sandy bed, holding you heals me, but loving you hurts my head. Oh, Arizona gardens in the afternoon, no matter what happens, it's me and you, baby, nothing but time and music and sweet every step of the way. Beside you, every step of the way, every step of the way.
So now that I have all of the ingredients prepped, I can actually make a smoothie. This green smoothie has a lot of ingredients, so prepping them in advance is a huge time saver. Each bag has the ingredients to make one smoothie, so all I need to do is dump out the contents into the blender. I keep the greens in the fridge, and then I freeze the rest of the ingredients. They last longer in the freezer, and then I don't have to add ice to the smoothies. So I freeze all of the ingredients except for the banana. When I add frozen banana, it takes too long to blend up in the blender, and we almost always have bananas on hand, so I don't need to prep the bananas in advance. My husband does like smoothies, but he doesn't like to make them, so he'll only have a smoothie with me when we're both home on the weekends and I'm home to make him one. There are a few go-to smoothies that we have on repeat, so I keep most of the ingredients prepped and ready to go in the freezer so that I can quickly blend one up for a quick meal.
Saw you down the motorway. There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell the sky from the ground. I know my life will never be the same after that day. And you stay. I don't ever wanna be alone again. In spite of all, you're my best friend.
While I was cleaning up inside the house, my husband was cleaning up outside with the help of his supervisor, of course. And I usually like to work outside in the yard at the same time so that we can get things done together. Most of the yard is still dormant, but that's going to change soon. And right now there's more that needs to be done inside the house. The kitchen is on the zone cleaning schedule for this week, and I have some spring cleaning that I need to take care of. I need to start with this cabinet underneath the sink. We keep the trash and the green waste underneath the sink, and then we have another cabinet for the recycle bin. I try to clean out both cabinets about every other month when I clean in this zone. I empty out the cabinets so that I can clean inside them, and then I clean everything before I put it back again. I have a liner under the sink to protect it from water damage and to make it easier to clean. All I need to do is remove the liner and rinse it off outside.
Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds. Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the ground. You're lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me. I won't be stumbling in the dark. Your eyes are shining like the stars. I was down until you saved me, until you set me free. My eyes were closed, now I see clear as day. And I just wanted to say that you can take me high. Feels like I can fly. You can take me high. I can see the sun.
We don't have a utility sink to use for this kind of thing, and I would like to add one to the garage one of these days. But most of what I need to clean is too big to fit into a sink anyway, so it's just much easier to take everything outside and hose it down. I like to rinse everything off with a hose first, and then I use an all-purpose vinegar solution to clean everything. I just mix about 1 cup of vinegar with 1 cup of water, and then I add a teaspoon of dish soap. Once little food bits and spills get stuck to the surface, they're hard to get off, so rinsing them off with a little water helps to soften things up so that they're easier to clean.
I don't need anybody, I don't need anybody else. No one will ever take me, no one will ever take me away from you. I promise I will hold on to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
We do line all of the bins with plastic bags to help keep them clean, but even with the bags to line all of the trash cans, there are still leaks that happen from time to time. But the liners only protect the insides of the bins, so we would still need to clean the outside.
Smiling at me as so many times before. I never wanna be away, leave you scared. You are all I want and more. It's true.
I try not to dry dishes by hand if I can help it. It saves time if I can let them air dry while I do something else, but I needed to move the dishes out of the way so that I could finish cleaning in the kitchen. I need to wipe down everything that I pulled out from under the sink, and I try not to store too many things underneath the sink. I keep things that we need to use in the kitchen like dish soap and granite cleaner. It makes it easier to keep things organized, but because we keep trash cans underneath the sink, it's faster when there's less to clean. The coils on the fridge need to be clean to work properly, so when I take off the front grill cover, I also try to vacuum the coils, but the coils are too far back for most of the attachments on the vacuum to reach, so I'm using a paintbrush to loosen up the dust. Then I can use the crevice tool to vacuum it up. This is more of a seasonal task that I try to take care of when I clean in this zone, but it doesn't need to be done every other month. It only needs to be done about every 4 to 6 months, so I just try to remember to check it when I clean in the spring and the fall.
I could sit around and
Cleaning behind the fridge is something else that I need to do today. The fridge is on wheels, so it's not hard to get out. I don't have any trouble pushing it back into place, but it's much harder to pull, so I have to use all of my body weight to tug it out. The biggest challenge is making sure that it comes straight out and doesn't turn inside the cabinet. So I have to stop and check the sides, and once there's enough room for me to squeeze behind it, I can push it out the rest of the way. Try to pull out the fridge once a year to clean behind it. It's part of my spring cleaning, but it's usually something that I try to do in January. But when I pulled out the fridge this year, I started to think I might have skipped over it last year. The floor underneath the fridge is always covered with dirt and dust when I pull it out, but it seemed much worse than usual this time. So I grabbed the vacuum to clean up most of the mess so it didn't get tracked all over the place. Whenever I pull out the fridge, I clean everything from top to bottom, so it's better to save mopping for last. I clean the walls on the inside of the cabinet and on the outside of the fridge. Dust will build up on all of the surfaces, so I need to give them a quick wipe down with a damp microfiber cloth.
what was it they used to say? Seeking you will find. There is nothing in you that's fading. All you ever do is shine. You are brighter all the time.
The last thing that I do before I push the fridge back into place is to mop the floor. We have stone floors, so I'm using a stone cleaner that I spray directly onto the floor, and then I'll use the machine to clean and rinse the dirt and soap off of the floor. This wet vac could easily clean up all of the dirt that was under the fridge, but I like to clean the floor last to pick up anything that got knocked to the floor while I was cleaning above it.
With anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it.
Pushing the fridge back into place is much easier than pulling it out, but I still have the same challenge of guiding it back in a straight line. If it turns even a little bit, it'll hit the side of the cabinet and get stuck, but once the fridge is lined up, it slides right back into place. There was a little bit of dirt left when I moved the fridge back, so I needed to clean that up, and while I had the mop out, I decided to give the rest of the floor a quick mop.
Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain Laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and
I didn't need to spend a lot of time mopping the floor. It was already in pretty good shape, so I didn't use any stone cleaner. I just wanted to give the high traffic areas a quick once over just to pick up any dirt, and then I can give the floor a more thorough cleaning the next time I mop. I left everything outside to dry in order to save a little time, and it started out to be a really nice day with clear blue skies, so everything dried quickly. Even though there was a small chance of rain in the forecast, I was starting to think it was going to pass us by. But then, just as I started bringing everything back into the house, the wind started to pick up and the temperature started to drop. We ended up getting a light rain that afternoon, but it didn't last long enough to be truly beneficial. It just rained long enough to leave spots all over the windows that I cleaned the week before. I wish I had a link for this little trash can. We found it over 20 years ago now, and I haven't come across another one like it. I like it because it fits perfectly underneath the sink, but it's designed to hold shopping bags so we can reuse them instead of having to buy trash bags. I wanted to wipe down the front of the fridge to get rid of all the fingerprints that I left behind when I pulled it out. When I was still using stainless steel polish in the kitchen, I cleaned the appliances once a week, but then I found that it's much easier and faster to use a damp microfiber cloth. It's still part of my weekly cleaning schedule, but now I can clean them whenever I notice they need it, and the fridge and the dishwasher usually need to be cleaned more than the rest of the appliances. If the cloth is too wet, it'll leave water spots behind, so I need to buff them out with the dry microfiber cloth, but if I can wring out enough of the water evaporates quickly without leaving spots behind.
I was lost in a city dream, and I was at home again beside the stream. Then you walked past me.
Just when I thought I was all done for the day, I remembered I still had that pesky load of laundry to fold, and I was tempted just to put it off until the next day. But that's one of the biggest reasons that I like to get the laundry out of the way early. There are times when I do skip folding the laundry if I need to. Maybe I don't have the time for some reason, or maybe I'm caught up with the laundry and I just don't feel like it that day. But I do try to stick to my schedules as much as I can so that I don't get too far behind. Laundry is the last thing that I need to do today, and it only takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and since I've already loaded up the washing machine with another load of laundry for tomorrow, I decided to just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Even if I fail, you are like a summer breeze that I must inhale. Is it possible for us to feel this way forever? Loving you has never felt more right. Woke up lonely, and for you there is nothing in this world I wouldn't do. I would walk 1,000 miles just to see you.
Microfiber cloths need to be washed in cold water and dried on a low heat setting, and with the exception of whites and linens, I wash all of the clothes in cold water and then I dry them on the lowest heat setting. So I'm able to wash the microfiber cloths together with the rest of the laundry as long as I don't use laundry boosters, bleach, or fabric softeners. It's best to wash microfiber in a separate load all by themselves, but I don't have enough to run a full load of laundry, so instead I put them in mesh laundry bags so that they don't come into direct contact with the rest of the laundry.
Hello, moon. I can't shake the simplest feeling. Beyond the ghost, we stand on the opposite shore. Hello, moon.
I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. For all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. Hello, Mona. I mistook you for a dream. The engine glows, and I guess you always seem to know. Hello, Mona. I push back the serious feeling, the end's unknown, to get back the life I used to know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and remember to hit that subscribe button and to turn on the notifications before you go. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you next time.